working. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday night, and we are spread out all over the country tonight. It is the Mile High PotCast Quick Hits. And a lot of you guys might be wondering, like, hey, we're tuning in to see the Mile High PotCast Ask the Expert with our weed expert, Courtney Gunn and James, and our special guest, Harrison Zukis, who is a fucking major name in the Colorado cannabis industry. But unfortunately, shit happens, and we had to postpone for a week. So we are so lucky to have with us tonight. We have Mr. Mike Santore joining us for the Quick Hits tonight. How the hell are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for coming on in the last second. I mean,
hey, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was literally like show got canceled. Santore texted me 5 minutes later, like, hey man, I'll come on your show. I'm like, fuck yeah, you will come on this goddamn show. And thank you so much for being on, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem. Glad to be here.
And joining us on the Mile High PotCast in any capacity, whether it's a Quick Hits or James's Games or a Mile High PotCast, we want to welcome T-Man to the show for the first time.
Hey guys, thank you guys for letting me be here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you on, man. You're on Santore What Now quite a bit, and you're just like one of the most fun people, one of the most chill people. And we share a brother. We've never met, but we have a shared love of weed and music.
Right.
So why don't you tell us, a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm just a alien. I got these guys behind me. I laugh. I love fun. And, I just try to make everybody happy. And I love to make everybody aware of what is good, in my brain. And it's, normally good in everybody's brain. Sorry.
All right.
And that's me.
So what you been up to? Tell us, what do you do?
All right.
Where do you live? All that good stuff.
So I live in, the Florida area. I do whatever the hell I want to do. I just like to entertain people. I'm an adventurous, and I like to investigate everything. Just want to know everything I can know.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having you on. It's an honor to have you on the Mile High PotCast, and we're just so happy to have you on. So, and thanks again. It was literally like Santore was like, "All right, I'm on, so let's try to get T-Man on," and you came on, and we have a fucking show. So it went from having no show to having a killer show with some great guests. So we're so happy to have you on, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so I want to get caught up with you guys. It's been a minute. We've been off on the Mile High PotCast for probably a good 2 weeks at this point. We got real psyched up for tonight, so we had to have a show. I was so anxious to have a show. So I'm so thankful to have you guys on. But we need to catch up. So, Mr. Santore, what the hell have you been up to?
I've been just living day by day. I haven't really been much up to anything. Did a show on Wednesday. It was a good show. I thank Ron Howe for being a guest again. That was a good show. We had a good time. Pretty much just, hanging out. Not much. Playing some music, getting ready to I was invited to a wedding to play Marry Me by Train. So me and my friend are going to do that for my friend's wedding. So I've been pretty much just pretty much been practicing that song. But other than that, just being grateful that I'm alive and still kicking.
May I ask? I'm sorry. May I ask, what have you been up to? Can you please fill us in what is going on in the world?
Me? You're asking me?
I need to ask you.
Shit, man, I am always busy. I do the day job where I'm slinging lattes on a daily basis, and then I come home and I do my real job where podcasting, learn about podcasting, learn about getting the Truckee Pacific up and going, getting that better, just trying to put out a better product. I'm an author, so I just put out a book called Caldera. The audiobook should be available on Amazon anytime now, or on Kindle. The Race to Space Event Horizon audiobook just came up, so I've been doing a lot of that. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, on top of that, man, I have been I do a little bit of everything. I watch a lot of movies because I love to have stuff to talk about when we come on these episodes. So I'm like,
That's awesome.
on my days off, I am staying up until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, just watching as much stuff as possible, as varied stuff as possible. So we'll get to that in just a second. Because first, I want to know what you're watching, T-Man. Tell me what you're watching, bro.
All right. So what I'm watching is you and me and him, but I'm watching like Ancient Aliens, Unsolved, universe. Like I'm just watching some like out of the world scientific stuff. That's all I can do. And I love watching animals. So, I love the Discovery Channel. I love fish tanks. I love anything with animals. And, but.
Hold on. Before you go, what's your favorite animal? You can tell a lot about a man by his favorite animal.
Right?
An octopus, which
man,
I don't know
is
if you really consider
fucking
that
killer
an
answer, dude. Octopus is great, man.
I have one tattooed on my back.
That's awesome. I don't honestly. I think octopus is one of the most underappreciated animals in the animal kingdom, man. They can change their skin. They can they're fucking smart. Like they can learn how to twist open jars and shit and escape. They can roll back their limbs. They shoot ink out their assholes.
Have you ever heard about the Pacific Northwest tree octopus?
Would you educate us on the Pacific Northwest tree octopus, please?
All right. So in Washington, around the Olympic National Forest, the rainforest, there is a bunch of different species of tree octopus. There is no water around, but it's a rainforest, so the moisture is always there. But they live in trees. They look like pine cones and other weird stuff. If you go look it up, you can actually check it out and see some videos. You may not believe it. I don't know. It's plausible to me. It's plausible.
That
makes sense.
Octopuses are just one of the weirdest creatures, but they're amazing, and they taste good if you cook them quickly.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. By the way, I fucking love animals. So every time on the BBC America, and I know this because I fall asleep hella early on Saturday nights because I have work early on Sunday mornings. They always play Planet Earth reruns, and I fucking love it. I don't know if you guys have seen
that.
Yeah, man, all the time. And my favorite scene, I've watched every one of them. There's two scenes that I go back to all the time. One is like there's this lake in like Afghanistan or something like that where all these flamingos just like they collect in this and meet in this like one little lake. It's like a super thin lake, and then they do this like weird dance where they're walking and like they do this like crazy penguin or flamingo thing. It's the most amazing thing ever. Except for there is a scene where a bunch of like lizards hatch out of their eggs, and they have to make it like up this rocky hill, but standing in their way are like thousands and thousands of snakes. And every time they're fucking going, man, these snakes come out of everywhere. And Snoop Dogg did an amazing fucking recreation of that because it was.
Oh, I didn't even see that one yet.
Yeah,
man.
You gotta fucking see the Snoop Dogg version because Snoop Dogg is amazing.
That is awesome. I love Planet Earth as well, but I love the oceans. The ocean episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those oceans just blow my. And yeah. It's great meditation.
Absolutely. Santore, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Two things.
Yes.
What is your favorite animal?
Clyde, the orangutan from Any Which Way But Loose.
Oh, God.
Right turn, Clyde.
Right, exactly. Yes, that's my favorite animal.
Clint Eastwood. Oh, my God.
Oh, man, I think he just became my mom and dad's best friend because I've seen that movie like 10 times because it's my dad's like, hey,
that's a great movie. Love
it. It's pretty funny, man. It is a real funny movie.
And what's your second question?
The second question is, what have you been watching?
What I've been watching? I've been watching like Pluto TV, and I've been watching a lot of Family Tie reruns. I don't know, for some reason, I just puts me in a comfortable, I don't know. Watching that show it's so funny because it's like, it was a show that I grew up on when I was a kid, and to this day it's just fun, and it was a good time in my life back then. Not saying it's not a bad time now, but it just put me back in a place where don't have to think about today. So, but yeah, I've been watching a lot of Family Tie reruns. No new movies, nothing. So, but that's about it.
Well, don't worry. I always come prepared, so I will take up your slack, and I'll tell you all the amazing shit that I've been watching.
Hey, I mean, I've been watching a 2-year-old on, a lot, babysitting, and he's got his YouTube thing.
You got the new movie update, right? You got the shit. You're gonna tell us, Dave. I'm sorry, Santore.
No, you're fine. I want to be cut off anyway. That's fine.
I'm just so excited about what I'm gonna hear about movies that I should watch.
Right. No, David's got the lowdown on the movies.
So I'm gonna give you three. I'm gonna give you three things because I have to narrow it down. All right.
All right.
Number one is something I have been fucking blowing this movie for months now. And the actual actors in this movie and the producers, they actually follow me on Twitter. So this is a good chance for me to try to get some love from them on Twitter. There's this fucking crazy movie called Psycho Goreman. It's a very campy B movie, 80s style B movie, but and the looks just like it's straight out of the 80s, but it is fucking brilliant. It is so funny and bloody, just like needlessly bloody and violent. And it's so stupid, but it is so great, so brilliantly done. So Psycho Goreman.
So it's family orientated, pretty much.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I guess.
All right,
weird family, but
just saying.
The second thing is an unexpected show that I discovered and really enjoy. Do you guys know who Robert Kirkman is? Do you guys know what The Walking Dead is?
Yes. I do.
So Robert Kirkman, first and foremost, is a comic book writer and artist. He came up with The Walking Dead as a comic before it became a worldwide phenomenon on AMC. But he also wrote a superhero comic called Invincible, and Amazon bought it for $1 billion fucking dollars. And a couple weeks ago, they put out the first 4 episodes of Invincible. It's an animated series. And the first episode, it's an hour-long episode. For 50 minutes, it is a heartwarming. This kid's dad is Superman, basically, and he's like he doesn't have any powers, and so he's like, what is my place in the world? And then all of a sudden he starts to get his powers, and him and his dad have this great touching moment where they're like, all right, son, let me teach you how to be a superhero. And then the show ends after 50 minutes. You're like, that was really heartwarming. And then you wait for the next 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes after the credits are fucking bloody, violent, and you are left like, what the fuck did I just watch? It is so unbelievably such a crazy left turn, and you're hooked. And so you're watching this episode or this show, and you're like, the kid has no idea what his dad just did. His dad did something really fucking heinous, and his kid has no idea. And he's learning to be a superhero. His dad is Superman, but he has the secret of I just did something really fucking bad. And so it's captivating. It's an amazing show. So that is called Invincible, and it is on Amazon right now. And finally, the theaters are back open here in Colorado. I took that opportunity to go see fucking King Kong versus Godzilla, and it was so brainless, and the people in it were so dumb, but the movie was fantastic. I mean, the fights between King Kong and Godzilla were just CG marvels. That was so much fun, and get to see it in 3D and shit, having King Kong's big ass flying at you. It was great. So, yeah, that is what I've been watching. So, Psycho Goreman, you can find that on Amazon. You can find Invincible on Amazon. It's a great show. And then King Kong versus Godzilla, which is in movies and on HBO Max. So that's what I've been watching. So highly recommend this.
That's crazy. I've been I've been watching some Rob Zombie flicks lately.
Bring it.
Three from Hell.
Rob Zombie flicks. Which one are you watching?
Three from Hell.
Tell me about that one, because I fucking love Thousand Corpses and I love Devil's Rejects, but I have not gotten around to Three from Hell. So tell me about it.
It's crazy. Three from Hell is crazy, and then there's another one called Salem, Lords of Salem. Yeah, that's
crazy.
He went out, bro.
So are you a horror aficionado, man?
Yeah, I love horror flicks. Love them.
I think we just became best friends. I don't know. Can you feel it? Can you feel it from this many miles away? We just became best friends.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's some great
Dude, I
fucking
love
horror
horror
movies that
flicks.
came out. There's this movie called Host, and I think I'm not 100%. I think you can find it
I
on
think
Netflix
I just
now.
watched that the other day.
Yeah, it's a fucking horror movie shot off a Zoom, like a Zoom link.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah,
Those
dude,
shit
it's a great
crazy,
horror
bro.
movie, man.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was good. It was so good. Do you like horror movies, Santore?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Big fan.
Nice.
Yes, no. Rob Zombie, his movies are great. Seen them all. Love them. Except for Salem. That I did not get to see yet, but I'm now going to look for that.
Yeah, he does some bizarre shit, man. But
No, he's good.
there was another one. What was it called? I think it was called like Cell Phone. Bizarre ass fucking movie. And it had a great cast in it. You know what I'm saying? It had a bunch of good people. People are like walking around, listening on their cell phones, moseying around and not paying attention. And then their cell phones like trap them. And they change their brain, and then they just go on a rampage and just start killing everybody. Like people who got the fucking message, they just would go, bah! And just start fucking just stomping whoever in the fucking face. And it was like a zombie movie, but it was like
yeah. So I think that's based off a Stephen King book. Did it have John Cusack in it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's based off a Stephen King novel. Yeah.
It was based off the why I was trying to figure out why people were trying to like blow up the 5G towers. And then I watched that movie after, and I was like, that kind of makes sense, but doesn't make it true. But
I hear. So Santore and I were coming up with show ideas like an hour before the show started. Like, what the fuck are we gonna talk about? And Santore and I. Well, we have been talking that we want to start like a long form music podcast. So like a monthly podcast, hour and a half long, where we talk about our favorite bands, our favorite genres, albums and shit like that. And so we're like, that's one thing that Santore and I we jive on, man. We're like, we love the same kind of music and shit. But then talking with Mr. T-Man down below here, I know he's fucking killer with music as well. So I was like, what a great kind of thread for us to bring together is like just our fucking love of music and shit. So
that would be awesome.
Yeah. So tonight I just kind of want to rap about our favorite bands, our favorite musical genres, what kind of got us into that kind of shit. So I'm gonna start with you, T-Man, because Santore and I have talked at length about music and shit. But like, what kind of stuff are you into? Like, tell me what kind of bands you're into, what kind of genres and shit.
Let me give you the background. When I was growing up, I just had an ear for music. My father is from Baton Rouge. He loves jazz. I learned how to play the music by ear. Then I got instruments. So my first band was called Green-Legged Goat. Green-Legged Goat, and we had 3 legs on it. It was, it was cool. It was a punk band. I got into skateboarding, started listening to some serious, deep shit, Stormtroopers of Death, freaking Megadeth, all that shit, Nuclear Assault. And then I just, I would always listen to other music as well. So, music was always like an uplifting thing for me. So I'm tuned into it. I love it.
What about you, Santore? Tell me a little bit.
Well, when I was like 5 years old, I was I have an older brother, and my parents were like, I was always in their car, so I was always listening to their music. So in the beginning, when I was 5, I was listening to ABBA, Saturday Night Fever, Roger Whittaker, and that was my parents' music. And then one day, my brother pulled me in his room and said, "Here, you gotta listen to this. I'm tired of this." And he pulled out, Van Halen 1, Back in Black, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Floyd came later. But so I immediately I fell in love with the sound of the electric guitar as soon as I heard Eddie and Angus. And then from that point on, I was all about, heavy rock and roll. And then probably when I became 10 years old, I just fell in love with Pink Floyd, and I had a love for them ever since. And they're my favorite band. And then Zeppelin would be my second favorite band because Zeppelin is just Zeppelin. I mean, I just, every time you hear Zeppelin, you just listen. You don't get, for some reason, you just never get sick of them. I just never get sick of hearing Robert play. I mean, you have to be a fan first to like Led Zeppelin, but if you're not, still. And then Rush should be number 3 because
I think Rush is number 1 for me.
For you? Okay. But yeah, Rush would be number 3 just because it's Rush. And that's why he would make it number 1. But I get it. So yeah, I mean, that's a general, pretty much. And I love Miles Davis. I love Duke Ellington. I love jazz.
I was listening to him last night.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, just because jazz is just great. I mean, it's just soothes the soul. It's what it does. And it's just good. And I just can't get with today's music, man. I've really tried. I can't do it. And I'm just glad I know that I grew up in an era and got to appreciate really good music because it's still out there. You just gotta go find it. But just today, I mean, I just feel like music has lost a lot of soul. I think back then, growing up, the music I grew up with had a lot of soul. And I don't think it has, and now I think people are more about making that buck instead of putting out good material. And it's what people think that people want. And I know I'm a person that loves the music industry, and I can tell you personally I don't like it, I don't want it, but other people, times have changed or whatever. But so yeah, just those are I like the classics, pretty much classic rock and good jazz. And I mean, even country's gone to a different level. I mean, I used to love listening to William Jennings and Willie and Bocephus and all that. I love that stuff. But like today's country seems to have lost a lot of soul too. But anyway, I don't know. I just want the soul to come back. Just want the soul to come back. Anyway.
So, one thing that Santore and I love is like heavy metal music. And
yes.
I am a fucking metalhead above all else. I like a bunch of shit, but I am a metalhead before anything else.
Right.
And it started with, I was taking a nap on a couch when I was in like 8th grade, and I woke up to fucking Metallica's One. And it literally changed my life. That fucking song was so heavy and so fast. I was like, I really like this shit. And so that inspired me. I love history. I love finding roots in everything. I love to see where roots spread. So like, I love Metallica. Who sounds like Metallica? Megadeth. Who sounds like Megadeth? Okay, there's this band Pantera. And it just fucking opened me up to a whole industry. Slayer, Napalm Death was big at that time. Cannibal Corpse. I mean, like, and to this day, like, it is. Before the show, I was fucking cranking up some heavy metal in my room, just getting jacked up. But it wasn't until recently that I've really started like doing research and learning about the roots of the music that we love. So I love heavy metal. Where did heavy metal come from? It came from punk rock, and it came from hard rock in the 60s and 70s. Who are the bands? Who are the Clash? The Damned, Joy Division. If there's no Nine Inch Nails, my favorite band, there's no Nine Inch Nails if there's no Joy Division. Who is Joy Division? Dude, Skinny Puppies, Marilyn Manson, which is kind of a verboten name these days. Ministry. They were inspired by others. They were inspired by Joy Division. And then I go back. Who was Joy Division inspired by? They were inspired by like
Chili Peppers.
I don't think Joy Division was inspired by the Chili Peppers.
Well, the Chili Peppers used to play like funk, like like rock, back in the day, like Ertl the Turtle,
Yeah, I don't know.
Where they're walking across the street with socks in their dick. That was like one of the craziest fucking punk rock fucking things that came out, back in the day.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
or was it Ertl the Turtle?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
So, and that's kind of where I'm going. It's like the stuff that I love to listen to. Like, I'm trying to find the roots, and I have followed these roots all the way back to Billie Holiday, to Ella Fitzgerald, to fucking Louis Armstrong, to like these 1930s, 1940s era like blues singers, because they're not like these big bands where they're like, Chattanooga choo choo. No, they're like fucking talking about people being lynched in the South, people fucking, I mean, like taking risks and just fucking putting it all out there. Like, there's no rap without Billie Holiday, and she inspires somebody. They inspire somebody. They inspire somebody, and until like, I think something happened in like the last 5 years where nobody gives a shit about music. They're like Michael Santore said, it's all about fucking, let's make that dollar. Let's not like go back to our roots. Let's just, throw down a couple
make trash music and make money for a minute.
Exactly, man. It's like, rap. I used to love, I love 90s era rap, late 80s, early 90s era rap. That was the best time for rap, was in that like 1986 to like 1995. That like 9 years is when all the best rap came out. And then I can't listen. It's so unlistenable these days. It's so unlistenable. It all sounds the same. It's all like mumble rappers, and they're all like, I just can't stand it, man. What do you think?
The industry did get flooded out with a bunch of mumble rappers, you know what I'm saying? But there are some good like hip hop, I don't listen to rap music. I like hip hop, like straight hip hop. And, hip hop, it goes around different, like, angles of like who they are. There's like all different colored people. But the whole idea of hip hop is not no mumbo jumbo bullshit. And they're talking about real shit. You know what I'm saying? And they got to flow with it. You got to like be able to like, there's people like, who are hip hop artists who can, not even have to say a curse word on their lyrics. You know what I mean? Because they don't need to. They're that awesome. Because, there's other mumble, let's throw in fucking this and that, to make it sound cool. That's bullshit, man. With that, we call that rapping bullshit. R&B, rapping bullshit.
I'm right there with you, man. Yeah, I'm right there with you. This is my feeling is that rap right now is where 80s hair metal was, like back in like the mid 80s. It's all about parties and having sex and having a party and shit. And they need like a fucking Nirvana. They need somebody to come out of like nowhere and just like redefine what R&B and rap is.
Yeah. Do you think that will ever happen?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Well, that's just like,
I mean, I hope
they just not only just rap. I think they just need there needs to be more people that people could look up to in all different aspects of music, all different genres. You know what I mean? Because there's always some stupid ass in every freaking genre that everybody's like, yo, this guy is fucking bonkers. Get this guy out of here. But there's always that other person who can like, it's just, people are going to be people. People are going to be stupid. Yep. They make dumb music. And you're going
I realized I realized over the years, how to really appreciate artists. Like, I was growing, like when I was a young kid, my brother was listening to the Doors, and of course Jim Morrison died before I was born, so I didn't really know. But being in the era where Michael Jackson died, you grew up knowing, listening to Michael Jackson. I mean, whether you like him or not, or whatever.
I like Michael.
The man was talented. All right, he's a genius. Michael Jackson, he was a talented person, and I was able to, after I appreciate it then, but it's just like but whatever. And the same thing with Prince. It's just like, you're like, oh my God, they're gone. Chris Cornell is just like, I just appreciate the music then, but I just,
they influence people though.
You got to really appreciate it because, talent is gone. I mean, like, they passed away, like Eddie Van Halen, it's the same thing. It's just like, trying to appreciate music and the artists while they're still here. It's just, some of us take that for granted. And
right. So people, go check your roots out and figure out where your music is coming from, because you'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, man.
So I mean, we just, we lost DMX last week, just terrible losses. So, just appreciate the talent that while they're still here and being able to do what they do, because, that's what I'm saying, with this whole COVID thing, I've been always, my dream concert is always to see David Gilmour solo. And I don't think I'll ever see that, but, he's still alive. So therefore I still appreciate him and Roger for what they've been doing and what they always still do. So, just appreciate the talented artists while they're still here, people. That's my message.
One artist that passed away sometime during your life that had like the biggest impact on you.
Well, when Chris Cornell died, that was a shocker. That tripped me out. I wasn't even expecting that. And that was just like kind of shock value. But that was a terrible loss for me. I was just like, because I listened to Soundgarden from 89 all the way up till, when they got even popular in 94, it was Super Unknown. I was, and I saw them Lollapalooza and I thought, great. Soundgarden was great. Chris Cornell's great. Like his vocals are just amazing. And, and that was a shocker to me. And then, of course, Eddie dying at 65. And then when I was younger in 1982, I was a big fan of Ozzy Osbourne. And when I heard Randy Rhoads die, that was the first thing that wrecked me. It was just like, we just lost a great guitar player from an airplane crash. So in 1982, it probably was the first one ever that affected me when I was young. But, Chris Cornell was a shocker and that was just, unexpected. So that was weird. And then, of course, Eddie, I thought for sure he'd be around a little longer. But yeah, so that's mine. What about you, T-Man? Sorry.
You're like,
King Ed Rock.
This is my show, Santore. This is my show.
Boys, King Ed Rock, Mike D.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That shit hurt me.
Yes.
1984,
All right.
Well, is there a particular artist that died or passed away over the course of your life that really impacted you?
I just said it.
Beastie Boys?
MCA.
Yeah.
Oh,
MCA. King Ed Rock or Mike D. Yeah. They were doing
it was Adam. Yeah, it was
Adam, MCA.
Adam.
Yeah. He died of cancer. Probably 5 years ago now, maybe a little bit more. Beastie Boys, the Mike D and I'm losing it. It's Mike D, Ad Rock, and MCA.
Yeah.
They put out a documentary. So they do a live show. The remaining Beastie Boys go out and they do a live speaking show, but they kind of just talk about the history of the Beastie Boys. And Spike Jonze filmed it and they put it out on, I think it's Apple or something like that. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. But just the reverence that they had for Ad Rock, it was a big tragedy. And this guy was he was a generally good guy. He cared about others. He was not a celebrity. He was a real good dude. And so his passing, and he was, very integral in the Beastie Boys' success, from writing the music to the marketing and shit. He was very important.
Right. And he was a good dude, was the bottom line.
Yeah.
Another one that really affected me. People might get crazy, but when James Brown died, bro, that was kind of rough.
That's legit.
Godfather, his own shit, but whatever. But James Brown was the godfather of fucking
soul.
Yeah, I get that.
That was, I wasn't mad at him wilding out. I wasn't mad at him. I was yo, this motherfucker is crazy. But that's not really what I said. But
yeah, for me, there's two artists that really impacted me. First of all, it's Kurt Cobain.
Yes,
I revered fucking Kurt Cobain, man. I love Nirvana so much. I was in a Nirvana cover band for a hot minute. I loved everything Nirvana, and then Kurt Cobain died, and I was 14, 15 maybe when he died, and that was very, very sad. But the one that really broke my heart was when Dimebag Darrell from Pantera was murdered.
Oh yeah.
I looked up to he was so fucking talented. He was genius level, Stevie Ray Vaughan level guitarist, and he never got the love because he's a fucking metal guy.
Dude, he was awesome.
He was.
Dimebag was so good, man. And
that was a shocker too.
Yeah, that was a shocker, and he was fucking murdered on stage, man. Like it was a brutal way for such a nice guy. You know, and we're talking about good guys. Like he was another good guy. He liked to party. He was nice. He was friendly and shit. And
killed on
to be
stage.
taken out that way, broke my heart, man. Broke my fucking heart.
Yeah.
So what I wanted you to start telling me about some bands that you guys like, and I not just like bands that you're like. Oh, Santore, I know you probably like Ozzy, but tell me a band that or an artist that like people wouldn't expect you to like. I'll start with you, Santore. Why don't you go first?
Well, you wouldn't guess that Santore likes the Wu-Tang.
I do love the Wu-Tang. Love the Wu-Tang.
Everybody fucking loves the Wu-Tang.
I took him to a show.
Yeah. Yes. And then we also went and saw Diggable Planets. Yeah, it's a great show. I'm a big, huge fan of Sinatra. I mean, Sinatra is just, you know, people would look at me and I think I love Sinatra, and that's why Sinatra is not like he's just on a level on his own.
Right.
I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you can't even put Sinatra in any category. But Sinatra, I listen to a lot of Sinatra when I get a chance. I'm not a closet music listener. I mean, I'll tell you straight up, I listen to what I don't like. I'm not afraid to hide anything, man. I'm not like, you know, listening to Taylor Swift and just, you know, not telling me I don't like Taylor Swift's music. I mean, like her album right now, their new album that came out, I like it because of the fact it's not as poppy as her other ones. But I give her respect for that because she's like becoming an artist and not selling out. And that's what I appreciate about artists is they're playing music because they want to. And it's coming from what they, you know, their feelings and stuff. And it's not about, you know, they want to share the music with the world, which is great. But, you know, when it becomes money and it's like, you know, you got to make this, and, you know, like, I don't like that. That takes away the whole soul and talent from the artist. And that's why I'm trying to have music try to get away from. But it's corporate America, so we'll never lose it. But yeah,
I'd rather. Britney Spears, though, what about her situation?
I am so far away from Britney that I have no idea what her situation is. No offense.
She's under a situation to where she can't make any rules. She's completely controlled by like
her dad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
She can't, and like, she's old enough to be a grown up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nah. Hey, you know, like I said, there's contracts and people owe people, and that sucks. You know, free Britney. Really? Let's do this.
Yeah. Free Britney.
We'll do a free Britney telethon. All right, awesome.
Hashtag free Britney. Santori, if I were to say, give me 3 bands, like, hey man, why don't you go put on some music back there? Tell me 3 bands that you're like that are just your go-to bands.
My go-to bands are just, I already mentioned Rush, Led Zeppelin, Floyd. But if you want, I mean, I like punk rock. I like
your go-to band. What would be on your list? Like
Fugazi would be one. Fugazi.
No, on your list right now in your phone. What is your list?
Oh, my list is like pretty much got Fugazi, Suicidal Tendencies, Slayer, Pink Floyd, Rush, Van Halen, Black Sabbath, Dio, Slayer,
I don't think he got the question. He has
Ted Nugent.
He has a music list in his phone.
AC/DC. I'm just like, this is what you know, on my YouTube. This is I listen to my go-tos. Triumph.
What music do you have in your phone?
Huh?
What music do you have in your phone?
I just
named me or Santori.
Either one of you.
I just nailed it. You go ahead, Dave.
All right. So my 3 bands that I will go to right now. This great metal band, like fucking hardcore metal band. Band called After the Burial. They're a great heavy metal band. And what I'm trying to do is, like, because of copyright laws, we can only play like 10 seconds of each song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play, like, I want you guys to tell me some bands they like, and I'm going to play a few minutes, or a few seconds. So this is my band, After the Burial. Great metal band, love them to death. I'll fucking go. I'm just rediscovered Joy Division. I
They're
they're
good.
they're one of those bands like I had heard about, right? And so everybody knows Joy Division. Everybody knows Joy Division, but this is like their most famous song, and then their lead singer killed himself before they exploded. So a lot of their stuff, and they put their music out in really stupid ways, as they put their biggest songs out as singles versus on records, and so like they never blew up, but they were so influential. So I'm like rediscovering them, and then finally, there's this band called Churches, and I don't know if you guys have heard of them. I dug them because I really dig 80s era, like when Joy Division became oh my god, like I'm fucking blanking here. Depeche Mode, bands like that, Erasure,
New Order.
I found this band that called Churches that sounds like a modern version of fucking like Depeche Mode. So I mean, I dig their vibe because they sound very much like the shit that I listen to, like the Depeche Modes of the world. And I'm still trying to think of the band that fucking Joy Division became. So Joy Division,
New Order.
Thank you. So yeah, gotcha. Ian Curtis kills himself, and then the remaining members become New Order and become like the biggest band in the world for a minute. So,
right.
All right. So that was a fun experiment. So T-Man, I want you to tell me some bands. I'm gonna try to find some songs that we can play to go with that.
I don't know if you guys really don't want to listen to my top 10 right now, because I'd go with Fat Nick, number 1.
Fat Nick, number 1.
Yeah, it's hip hop, bro. It's hip hop. I just love stupid, crazy Florida music.
Fat Nick. Pulls it out of nowhere.
Okay, and tell me about something else. Let's go. I like this. We're doing a good job here. We're interactive.
What?
Tell me another band. Come on.
All right. Let's go with Rush. Tom Sawyer.
Whoops, that's not Tom Sawyer.
No, that's
that was
Big Audio Dynamite. Big Audio Dynamite.
Fucking Santori's like, so he's like Rain Man when it comes to name that tune.
Useless.
I gotta ask, man. I gotta ask. I've tried to get into Rush. I've tried.
Seriously,
dude. I can't. Tell me what is it about Rush that you guys find so appealing? Because people love Rush. Like people fucking live and die Rush, and I don't get it. I'm sorry.
All right.
So what don't you get? What? No, I don't understand what you don't get.
Do you play music?
Like personally? No, I play it on my phone.
All right. Okay. See, that is the difference.
Well,
if you play music, you would understand that it's a 3-man group. 3-man.
Yeah, they make Neil Peart's amazing. Like I totally get it. I totally get it.
Is like one of the baddest fucking drummers that ever lived.
Ever. Neil.
Ever.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not arguing.
The time signature that the guy plays. I play music, and the time signature that he can actually play and the instruments that he is making music. Just watch the video, the live version, and it's then go watch Show of Hands, and you'll understand.
Yeah, good call. Show of Hands. No, that's dude. And Alex Lifeson, the guitar player, is just wow. He's underrated. He is so underrated. It's just the music is great too. I mean, 2112 is just amazing album. Just like that album right there.
3-man band that rocked it out like with the hardest.
I mean, it just
from like the 60s. Or the 70s, I'm sorry.
70s.
I swear I will give them another shot here. I will try my best.
Listen to 2112.
No. Yeah.
21,
listen to 2112. The song, yeah.
I'm
Do I
just
need
saying
to
the
be high
album.
when I listen to it?
The album.
The album's 2112. Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say listen to Moving Pictures.
Moving Pictures. Yeah, that's a good one too. No, that's a great one. Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap up here in just a minute. I really enjoyed this
right.
conversation, but before we do that, we're gonna go around the horn, and I want you to tell me a band that you love now that your parents are like, you love these guys, or a band that you like because your parents like them. I'm going to start with you, T-Man, and then we're going to play a little bit of Name That Tune because that's what Santore does on his show, and we're going to try it on my show.
All right. No, that's perfect. I'm glad you got the equipment to make it happen.
Yeah.
It's always fun to play this game. Yeah, go ahead.
T-Man, you're muted, by the way, so I'm going to go to Santore first by default. Santore, tell me a band that you love because your parents loved, or two.
Well,
you don't have to listen to one. Go with two.
I mean, my parents originally, introduced me to Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. and I'm gonna have to say the Bee Gees. So the Bee Gees, Sinatra, and Sammy Davis Jr. I still listen to because of my parents.
What about you, T-Man?
Mine would actually be I think it was Dizzy Gillespie, that's what I
big,
jazz music, I had to listen to all the the tones and all this stuff. But that's what makes me think of them.
I love that.
What about you, Dave? What your parents listen to? You listen to?
I am so lucky to live in a household. Both my parents just love music, so I grew up just enriched with music. I still listen to Stevie Winwood and fucking bands like that. But the three bands that really remind me of my parents, man: the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, and I'd have to say Billy Joel. There
you go.
I love Billy Joel because my parents really love Billy Joel. But I would say Eagles, Fleetwood Mac. I remember going on vacations, and those were the two tapes that would pop into my mom's cassette player was the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac and their greatest hits. So that's what I
know who doesn't like the Eagles?
Probably back
you? Is it you?
No, the dude from Big Lebowski.
Oh.
Just throwing it out there.
Hey, did you find any Creedence tapes there?
Right.
We'll put out an APB.
Right, for your CCR.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to do 3 songs a piece. I'm going to go Santore first, then T-Man. I am not Dr. John, so
That's fine.
I'm going to do my best. So
all right, do it.
I need name of album, and I need, or not album, name of song and name of band.
Okay.
If you only give me one, then you only get 1 point. Are you ready?
Okay. Right. All right. That's Talking Heads and Psycho Killer.
Fucking Rain Man. He's an excellent driver too, folks. He's an excellent driver.
Thank you very much. No, go.
All of a sudden, lighted up.
All right. Don't worry about
Those
these
T-Man.
smiley faces back there. I'm sorry.
You're good.
You were actually right. It was Psycho Killer by Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. I got it. Thank you very much.
Excuse me while I cue this up a little bit.
Excuse me while I cue this up. Name that.
All right, this is T-Man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
into it, man, like a sex machine, man, moving, doing it, Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, go.
Hey.
Get up, get on up.
Oh. Hey.
Stay on the scene, get on up. Like a sex machine, get on.
All right, what is this?
James Brown, Sex Machine.
There it is. Soul Brother.
All right.
Godfather.
I'm making these too easy for you. I'm making them too easy for you.
Take it to the bridge.
Take it to the fridge. Get on up. Get all queued up. Get on up.
All right, this one's for you, Santore.
All right, that's Soundgarden.
I love James Brown.
That sound good. Oh, that's Temple of the Dog. Temple of Dog, Hunger Strike. Temple of Dog, Hunger Strike. Yeah.
I'm making this too easy. That's
You
fine.
are. Sorry.
Dude, I feel like I'm getting hypnotized.
Today's the 30th anniversary of Temple of the Dog, and you definitely got that correct.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
And I can feed on the powerless
when the bomb
already overfilled.
I'm going hungry.
I'm growing hungry.
I'm going
All right, here you go, T-Man. I'm testing your 90s music.
We just did it right there. Y'all, we just did it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
To a right point.
Come on. Let's get the song going, buddy. I only got 10 seconds here.
Pearl Jam.
Here you go.
That's my dog. That's my dog?
Pearl Jam.
Oh, that's my dog.
Oh, how quick a song can I'm spinning. Oh,
You're getting there, man. What's the name of the song?
Oh, he knows it. He knows it.
Keep it going, T-Man.
I think I should just get away with that one. It's Pro Jam. I know
It is Pearl Jam. I'll give you a hint. It is the name of the song is a color.
Oh.
3, 2, 1. Give me your answer, man. Huh?
Purple.
It's black.
Black.
All right. So this is Santore's last one.
Great answer.
I believe in you.
Black, so
Let's dance, David Bowie. Let's dance, David Bowie. Let's dance.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey. I know that one.
I will
Okay.
probably get kicked off of YouTube
Yes.
and or Facebook, but I don't care. That song is amazing.
That is
Also,
David Bowie.
Stevie Ray
David
Vaughan
Bowie.
plays the guitars on that song.
Nice.
We big pop. Okay.
No.
T-Man, I feel like I am. I think since I don't know you very well, I think I'm just like shooting in the dark with genres for you. Tell me a genre that you like, and I'll find you a song.
Me?
You?
Yes.
No, the other T-Man.
Reggae.
Reggae.
I want to hear
man.
like roots reggae. Roots reggae.
All right, let's try to find
I didn't.
roots reggae.
I got you over here to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
I mean some Peter Tosh.
Ooh.
Or some roots reggae.
Ooh.
Burning
It
Spear.
was.
Uh,
Peter Tosh.
Peter Tosh.
but if you play Peter Tosh,
If I
you
play
gotta-
Peter Tosh, you're like Peter Tosh. Like no shit. You literally just told me to fucking play Peter Tosh. No shit.
It's like Yellow Man.
Sorry, man. I tried, T-Man. I tried to help you out. It didn't
Thanks,
work.
man,
He caught on to us.
He did.
I
We
wasn't
weren't
that
that
slick. I
slick.
was trying to be slick, trying to fill it in. Oh, of course.
Ooh. Old time great. Why? Ooh.
The one, man.
Ooh.
Out of
love-
all the Bob Marley songs, I love this one, but this was the least one that I was hoping that you would play.
Ooh, no, that's hot.
I love that song,
Hot.
but there's a whole bunch, you know. I gave him, he played, he came up, he played. Sorry, I have a, you know.
Oh, you're good. Willie's a big fan of him.
So what's the song?
Nice.
Waiting in Vain, Bob Marley.
Waiting in Vain. Nicely done.
Nice.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up
Sorry.
here. Man, thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Hey, thank you for
I
having
really
us.
appreciate you guys being on here. So now that I have you on and you guys were so kind to be on my show, I want you to plug your shit if you have shit to plug. Otherwise, you know, I don't know. T-Man, do you have anything to plug? Anything you want to push out there?
Yeah, I just want to say keep following this guy because he's awesome, and I'm just glad to be on here. Everybody just be safe and be kind to each other and be kind to yourself, man. One love.
Love that. How about you, Santore? What are you hawking here?
I'm gonna be plugging some Wednesday night. Tune in to What Now with Santore, and of course, Team will be there. I have a special guest, and everyone just Wednesday night. Tune in the 21st to What Now with Santore. You will not be disappointed. So that's why I got to plug.
Ooh, that's if I'm disappointed, man, I want my money back.
You will get your money back.
All right, good. I always say that too when I'm talking about like Venmo and shit. I'm always talking like, if you don't like what we're doing, like, send me your refund request. I'll be happy to fill them for you.
Exactly.
It's free.
It's free.
If you don't like what you're listening to, then what the fuck are you doing watching the show anyway? Like, man, I watched an hour of the show and I fucking hate it. Like, well, if you hate the show, then don't fucking watch it. Like,
right, just leave.
I'm not gonna stop you. Like, we have 3 people watching us now, so like,
right.
Obviously, a lot of people don't like our show, and 2 of which I'm sure is my mom, and I'm sure one is Santori's friend too.
It's all good.
So I gotta say, Caldera, my latest novel is out in paperback, on ebook, and soon to be on audiobook on Kindle. So please check that out. Go to Amazon. My mom was so kind as to post the link earlier in the comments, so you can find that shit there. Next week. So once again, for those of you who have watched the whole show and didn't realize this is not an Ask the Expert show, we had to postpone to next week. We had some unfortunate things happen today, like all of a sudden, and so Santore and T-Man were so fucking kind to come on and help me out. But the Ask the Expert will be postponed until next week. We have a killer guest named Harrison Zukas, who is a real big name in the Colorado cannabis industry. He's a strain developer, a grower, just really knowledgeable about the cannabis industry here in Colorado. First of all, I gotta give a shout out to Rob Robert because he's been up and down the comments all night, man. I gotta give you love, dude.
Robert,
so thank you so much.
Rob Robert, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, so check us out next week. We have an Ask the Expert. But Tuesday, what the fuck is Tuesday? Tell me what Tuesday is, everybody.
What is Tuesday?
Tuesday's fucking
420.
420, motherfucker. So we have a special James's Games episode, 420 episode on Tuesday. So definitely tune in for that. And then for Ask the Expert, I'm going to officially ask you, both you guys, if you'd like to be on the show on Tuesday, because it's a 420 episode, and I know you guys love weed. So
I would love to be on the show. I get my second shot that day, so if things are good,
so you'll be all fucked up. That's gonna be great.
I'll be on the show.
Good television. Nice.
Yes, I'll be on the show. Yes, thank you for inviting me. Yes.
Yeah, so you can check us out at the Mile High PotCast at gmail.com. Or you can email us. Our website is www.truckypacific.com. Of course, we would like you to do what my parents did and what my Aunt Bonnie did and go to Venmo. It's at Truckee Pacific 303. Go to that Venmo and send us $1. Send us like $5, $50. If you send us $50, then you are a show sponsor. If you send us, $1,000, I'll let you be a season sponsor. Like our season sponsors tonight are Paul and Betsy Hawkins, my mom and dad. So thanks, guys. They're a season sponsor. But $50, man, you can even come on the show if you want to, or you can just tell us what to talk about or anything. Well, we just want your money so bad because, this is a lot more fun than fucking slinging lattes at Starbucks and delivering pizzas. And, I want to do this for a living. I want to talk to my homeboys about music, and I want to write. Only you guys can make that possible. So at Venmo or at Truckee Pacific 303 on Venmo. And that's all I got, guys. I thank you guys so much for being on. Thank you to our 4 viewers and Rob Roberts and Betsy and Paul Hawkins and all you guys who tuned in. Santore, take us away because I love what you do. So,
thank you for having me on, and everyone be good to each other.
Be